I'm Coburn, Dundalk Coordinator of Cura.
And I'm Cura. I work as PR for Cura. Cura began in 1977, and it was the response by lay people to someone who was unexpectedly pregnant and who needed support. And it was felt that there was nowhere that they could go, no one that they could talk to, and that they needed extra help. And Cura was set up, and it was given the name of Cura, which is the Latin word for care, and it represented what we wanted people to feel, that we cared, we were concerned about someone who was in that situation. Cura in Dundalk opened in 1984. We already had 8 centres, I think, at that stage, and we had identified a need in this area in the northeast, and 12 people went forward, started to train. We opened a centre down in the Mercy Convent. It was the available space we had at the time, and we moved up here a few years ago.
We have face-to-face counselling, pregnancy testing, which we can do on site here, and it's free of charge. We have telephone counselling where a person can ring in, and from there we can make an appointment if a person would like to do so. We have post-abortion counselling. We have aftercare, like postnatal, but in Dundalk we're training to do that. We hope to start that maybe in the autumn time, but it'll be probably based from Drogheda. We also have a school awareness programme where you go into the school and you talk about Cura. We set up an appointment with the school, we go in, and there could be maybe 80 to 90 in the group. So we just actually talk about Cura and what service we provide. We invite anyone who would like to come and see us. The service is available and what times we're open, and usually we get a good response. We go through videos and different crises that has affected different people, and they all seem to like those and like to go through the scenarios.
We've always offered a service to men. It hasn't always been taken up, and I think that perhaps it's a man thing, and that, well, maybe no, I don't need counselling. But we're seeing more and more that young men who are going to be fathers are concerned and fearful themselves by that fact. And we would offer the same service to them that we offer to anyone coming to us, that there's someone to listen, there's someone to understand, there's someone to let them sit while they begin to come to terms with a pregnancy, what maybe is or has become a crisis. I think it's important to say that all of the Cura services that are offered are free, and that we don't have we have a drop-in, we can see someone by appointment, and that we will see someone, there's no waiting time. We've opened a centre, an outreach centre from this centre in Drogheda, and that would be to service the need that we would see for someone who perhaps couldn't come up to Dundalk, and that's in the Dawn Centre in Drogheda. Caitlin maybe tell you a bit more about that. We offer that service, the same service here.
We hope to have a launch in September in the Dawn Centre.
Like every other organisation, I think, going, we are always looking for volunteers. Now we recruit perhaps every 18 months to 2 years in each of the centres. We have 16 centres operating in Ireland. And we would advertise that fairly widely when it's going to happen. But I think for anyone who'd be interested in the work that we do around crisis pregnancy, that to phone the centre here, to leave their name and their number, and then when we are recruiting, we will get back to them. There's full training given to any volunteer who works with Cura, and it's important that they complete that training. But that would all be explained at an information night that we would hold when we are recruiting. I think to say to someone who would be watching this, or a parent of someone, that a crisis pregnancy can be very scary, but that there is help and there's support out there. And that one of the fears would be that someone ignores the fact that they are pregnant because they feel they haven't got the support, and that perhaps would go on into a concealed pregnancy where they wouldn't say anything, and that in turn perhaps lead to a baby being born where there is no help there and they have it by themselves. And just to say, don't do that. There is help there. There is a centre working in Dundalk, and you only have to ring the number, and there will be someone there to listen to you under any circumstances.